Welcome to the PC Perspective Podcast number 273. We are recording this October 16th, 2013, also known as the last day before the apocalypse began. I am Alan Malventano.
I'm Jeremy Hellstrom.
I'm Josh Walrath.
And I'm Mario Titleman.
Wow, that worked awesome, even though Ken is not switching anything for us since we're letting the Googles figure this out for us tonight.
He's been replaced.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Emails to us can go to podcast@pcpro.com. I don't think we have any this week, actually. And if we did, then I wouldn't have access to them anyway. So we'll have to look at them next week. The podcast page is pcpro.com/podcast. You can tweet Ryan to your heart's content at Ryan Shrout on Twitter. And tweets to us as a whole go to @PCPer on Twitter.
So have you already registered allentech.com now?
No, it's joshtech.com. You have the trademark on that. It's not.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm not taking that.
Allentech, a subsidiary of Josh.
Yes. The Allen at joshtech.com. So, first thing in the show notes is, do we have any announcements? Any stuff?
No announcements. Well, the one is the PC Perspective Halloween hardware giveaway. Corsair, they're giving us a pumpkin. If only we could show off the pumpkin that's in the form of one of their cases that's painted orange, I believe.
Yep.
Maury, have you looked at this? Do you know what type of prizes you are drooling over?
No. There's no video card there, so no.
Take it away, Maury. Do the switcher thing.
Do this. Okay, hold on. Let's see.
Look what you volunteered for.
Yeah, look what I volunteered for. Right. Okay. So you get this wonderful assortment of prizes. You get the Corsair Graphite 230T orange case with nice little orange LEDs there. You see my mouse?
Yes.
Okay, good. You get the Hydro H80i Corsair water cooler all-in-one unit that we have a review of.
Did you really just say Corsair?
Yes, Corsair.
I'm sorry, that there is
Orange
very
Corsair.
coarse on my skin.
Yes, and that you can also make orange if you'd like. I don't know why you want to, but you get the Raptor, you get the Corsair Raptor K50 RGB keyboard with LED set to orange. You get the Corsair Raptor M40 mouse set to red, but is close enough to orange according to Ryan. So, you get Corsair Vengeance Pro 8 gigs of RAM, the 16 megahertz stuff. That's pretty good set of RAM. You get the Corsair Neutron GTX 120 gigabyte SSD. You get the Corsair RM series 650 watt power supply, which looks like it's a fully modular unit. I'm not positive about that though. I'm not familiar with the RM unit, so it's either going to be
RM
partially
stands
modular or
for
fully.
really modular.
It does,
modular.
actually.
Really modular.
And you get the Gigabyte Z87X OC motherboard, which is a Haswell-ready motherboard. It's a Z87 motherboard. It's not the OC Force, which is the big bad boy, but it's the little brother of that. The one. It's kind of the same tier as the MSI M-Power. Nice motherboard. That whole Gigabyte series is a very nice series. That's a very nice motherboard, and it also is orange and black for Halloween. Well, not for Halloween, just Gigabyte stuck on orange for some reason, but. Yeah, so it's a nice little set of digs. I mean, all the hardware included in there is decent. I mean, Corsair Neutron GTX SSD. That's a decent SSD. I mean, it's not as good as Samsung, but Alan can speak more to that. But it's
a decent drive.
Yeah.
I like how they do the RM for really modular as compared to like EVGA, who has the SSC series. Sounds very fancy, but in fact it means super clocked.
Okay.
Well, they had to go somewhere after superclocked.
Yes.
Now, the one thing you guys need to know about this, if you want to win, you have to follow these instructions. You have to dress in a costume, and you have to have a PC Per logo, either PC Per, PC Perspective sign, either signed or written on a piece of paper or something in the picture with you. So no, no photoshopping, cut and paste, whatever,
Well, why couldn't you Photoshop and cut and paste a PC perspective sign into your Photoshopped
Well,
copy paste picture?
I guess you could, but
Well, because we'd much rather you copy-pasted a better-looking person into the picture.
I'm certain that I will abuse this to its ultimate end.
No.
And Ryan didn't mention it, but naked, not a costume.
Yeah, no naked pictures.
I'm a pull toy. I'm a pull toy.
We all
We
see
know that.
naked guys in the mirror already enough. We don't need any more.
I'm wearing rollerblades, damn it.
Gross. You can now for this picture. Once you take it, you can leave it on your Facebook. The wall of the PC Perspective Facebook page, the wall of the PC Perspective Google Plus page, or you can, if you really want to, you can make a video and leave it on the PC Perspective YouTube channel. Any three of those, and then someone will judge them. Probably Ken. So
And Josh will probably do all three.
Yeah. That's probably why you don't want to send naked pictures, because Josh will never leave you alone.
You speak from experience on that?
No, I've just heard rumors.
No,
You're the one who slept with
did
him,
send
Al.
me. So yeah.
Oh,
I've got so much dirt on all of you. It's not even funny.
All right, so that's the contest. Yay.
So next, I think this was something that just Ryan wanted to put it there as a reminder or something. PCPro.com/subscribe.
What?
That is a
mailing list.
Yes, we have a mailing list. So
Oh.
if you want to be notified,
We've joined 2001, and we have a mailing list.
Yes, it is at PCPro.com/subscribe. It gives you a little prompt thingy. You type in your email address, and what else is there? Is it the name of the email? Where is it at? I have to click on it to see.
Have you not joined the mailing list yet?
Why would I be on the mailing list? I'm not the. I work for.
Because Ryan made us all try it before we made it live, Alan. Come on.
Oh, did he?
Yes.
I was
well,
probably
apparently
under.
not you.
I was under a car or proposing or something.
You're under car.
That's a unique place to propose.
Wait, why do you call your fiance car? That seems mean.
Yeah, nice joke from earlier today.
Yeah.
No, I was actually under a car, like a car. Anyway. All right.
With this muffler
Okay,
ring,
who's
I
blowing
quit.
into the microphone?
That's Maury.
That's Maury.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Let's see. First review is from Ryan, who's not here to talk about it. But, well, who's read this one? I have not yet read this one.
Red, it's one of those video reviews he keeps doing.
Oh, well, we're crossing way the heck too many streams to try to do that.
It's true. But
Unless
just
Maury played it and then had his thing sharing, and then I don't think the audio would go over.
unless he kept blowing.
Oh God.
Oh,
But just
dear.
to quickly go over it, it's an Origin PC Millennium custom configuration that they gave to us to review. And honestly, one of the things you'll notice about it the second that you start up the review is that looks awfully small to have two 780s in it. On the other hand, they did a really good job on it. He had absolutely no problems with overheating. And honestly, it's overall pretty impressed. They've got an i7-4930K, factory overclocked 4.5 gigahertz, sitting on the Rampage 4G and micro ATX, hence the tiny size. You can get an idea. That's a micro ATX board in there. They, for whatever reason, went with what Intel used to call the BTX form factor with power supply on the bottom. And honestly, I don't know that I like it because, you know, a 1200 watt power supply at the bottom of your system, the heat is going to go one way, and we know which way that is.
No, it's not.
Yeah, but it blows out the back.
It's the case is also well. Here's the spec.
And I mean, the thing is that's the thing is
Come on.
that GTX is exhausting directly into the PSU fan.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, no, Jeremy, the case is sectionalized. That bottom
Yeah.
section probably has a wall in between the main case and the.
Oh, so you did watch the video?
I didn't watch the video, but it looks very similar in nature to the 900D. Is that the Corsair case?
Yeah, well, I think the cooling goes from below the case to
Yeah.
the power supply,
Yeah.
and then out the back.
Okay.
So it has nothing to do. Look at my hands. Nothing to do with the internals.
Yes, the internal heat has nothing to do, but regardless, I mean, he had absolutely no overheating problems, so it can't be that bad. 2840 Pro 128 gigs and RAID 0, because, one isn't fast enough.
Mhm.
And 1 terabyte digital black hard, or Western Digital black hard disk drive for long-term storage. Overall, pretty impressive what he came up with, I'm assuming, because, well, it's an impressively looking system. I didn't actually watch the review yet. And hey, with water cooling, it's going to be quiet.
Hey, Alan.
Hey, what?
Has Intel done their trim pass-through RAID yet?
No, I have heard not a peep about that.
Boy, that's only been like about 2 or 3 years in the making.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were some talk that it was supposed to pass through only in RAID 0, and they talked about it, but nobody actually ever saw it working. And then there were some other times where it showed up, like this was 2.5 years ago or something. It actually showed up in the notes, like in the instructions, the docs for one of the builds, and then it didn't actually do that. It was supposed to work in everything but RAID 5. And no.
It's kind of like Intel's 14 nanometer process.
Because that's coming up in a hurry.
Yes.
That's okay though. I mean, most SSDs now can handle being in a RAID without trim fairly decently, without too much of a slowdown. Because they're so overpowered now, the bottleneck is really just the interface more than the flash and the controller. But it is what it is.
Moving along, Alan.
Yes. Next up is, let's see. Lee reviewed a Corsair Obsidian 750D.
Because Lee wants the D.
Yeah, well, I mean, it looks like a pretty nice case. Looks sort of like that monolith thing from Odyssey, 2001: Space Odyssey. Anyway, it's all black case, window on the side. Looks to be pretty no frills. Actually, there's a video on the last page that Ryan did.
There's a video on the first page too.
Oh, is it the same video?
Yeah, I was. Here actually, if you want, here's some pictures of the case. It's very similar in design to the 900D. It's just a little smaller and it's not sectionalized. 900D here actually has a physically separate lower section. See that there is no physically separate lower section, but it looks to be, if smaller, only slightly smaller.
Isn't this kind of more of an evolution of the 650D?
Oh yeah.
But without some of the niceties of the 650D. Jeremy?
Could be.
Yeah, no, it really does look that way, and at the same time, I think they realize some people are just not going to pay that much for the case with all the extras. This has just enough extras to make it special. I still, as a person that likes to enjoy a beer by my computer, don't agree with the whole grill at the very top of the computer, but for some people that works.
Well, that's why you've got the removable, extractable coaster.
Yeah, but Jeremy,
You're gonna want it.
You have to put your huge ass radiator somewhere, right?
Oh, so you're saying if I pour beer on it, it's more effective?
Just install that old CD-ROM in it. That's all it's good for anymore, anyway. Who would have thought that would have been true at some point, right? It's like, oh, I have a cup holder and hit eject.
I paid $150 for this cup holder. It was a Kenwood 7 laser damn thing, but you know what? It's
hey,
useless
listen,
now.
that was useless the day you bought it. It was really, really fast when it worked, and it was really, really slow when it didn't.
Yeah, it was very quick at screwing up disks.
Yeah, I owned both versions of that drive, the SCSI and the IDE version, and they both were crap. The
I
only
preferred
difference
the Plex
was,
Store back then.
yeah, the only difference was when the SCSI one failed, it didn't take the whole system down with it. Thank goodness. So that was an upgrade. It was like a feature. Anyway, all right. So next, actually, Maury, you can totally take away the next one because you wrote it.
All right, let me get on there. Hold on.
Uh-oh. Maury
yeah.
reviewed the XSPC Raystorm 750EX240 water cooling kit.
Yeah, the XSPC naming convention isn't great. Basically, they crammed all the components that they put in a kit into the name. It really is. It's basically DIY kit. You know, they cherry pick their components and put them together. In this case, they took their what is it? Their 750, a new version of their 750 Bay-Res, which has a Lang pump in it. It's got the Raystorm. The Raystorm CPU block, and it's got their new EX240 radiator, which is a 2x120 radiator. Comes with barbs. It comes with tubing. Comes with both an AMD and an Intel mounting kit. Of course, comes with thermal paste, and it also comes with LEDs. It comes with two sets of LEDs, one set for the CPU and one set for the radiator. Not the radiator, sorry. The what am I thinking? The reservoir. It performs really nicely. I mean, it's XSPC. I've kind of gone to them in the past because when I'm doing builds, I kind of do them on a little bit of a monetary constraint. XSPC tends to have high quality hardware for not so much money as the EK or the bits power stuff is going to be.
It's kind of like East Colfax for me in Denver, right?
Yeah, sure. I have no idea what you're talking about, Josh. Sorry. Yeah. So the CPU block is a Raystorm block. It's a copper-based block with an acrylic top. Okay. It's got the AMD kit, as I said. This is the reservoir here is the XO2 750 reservoir. Let me get some pictures, and then you see the radiator here. It's actually a really nice radiator. It's about maybe 30 millimeters in depth, so it's about the size of a fan. Trying to get to the. Okay, so here's a close-up of the Razer. The Raystorm block. It's got an impingement plate here, so the inlet water is actually put under pressure and shot through so that it comes in right here in the center channel, is forced through these side channels. So it will go along the sides, and then the outlet is somewhere, I think it's over here. So basically the water comes in here along the channels and is forced out the sides. So it would be forced out this way and this way, and then water pressure, the equalizing pressure of the water would force it out the outlet. It's a very tried and proven design. It works very well. You can get some restriction because of it, but I didn't notice any problems with it. As you can see, the microfin channels are very finely machined. There is really hardly any machining marks. It's very high quality design there. Here's the pump in here. I'm sorry. Okay, I was incorrect about the pump. The pump is not the DDC pump. It's their 750 design pump. But they did include the new impeller design, where with the enclosed impeller design, it actually helps the water. It helps the flow of the water.
It should increase the flow, yeah.
Yeah, it'll increase the flow because it's actually with the old impeller without this back plate, the water is not forced in a channel-like motion. Here, it actually will force the water instead of having to rely on just the water.
On physics?
Yes,
yeah.
Physics.
And the veins are also curved on that one too. It's just a better design.
Yeah, it's better
because
design.
all veins that are curved are better.
Gross.
And it provides even flow. Just ask Pearl Jam.
Oh God, Josh, really even flow. In this testing, unlike other previous water cooling testing we've done, we actually included both Ivy Bridge scores and Haswell scores. The Ivy Bridge scores are absolute temperatures. Basically, I measured the temp and I took the highest temp out of the quad-core CPU I used. For the Haswell, we had to do it a little differently because the Haswell temperatures are a little bit, they vary quite a bit, and the standard way of measuring temperatures for Haswell is take the average temperatures, not the absolute temperatures. So basically, you have the average across all cores, which in this case, would be all 4 cores. You have the average across the high core, and then I put the max average in there just to show you what the max temperature is. As you can see, the Raystorm numbers, the Raystorm kit really did perform very well. These are, by the way, deltas. These are not absolute temperatures. I did tell you what the delta is based on. The room temperature was kept between 26 and 28 C. Now, before any of you, say, "Oh, that's too high," that's a normal room temp, at least in my house. I'm not into spending thousands and thousands of dollars on air conditioning. So, that's going to be pretty much a normal house temp unless you're in the middle of winter. Here's a picture of the actual kit. You can see the LEDs lighted up and all. But the kit itself is at frozen CPU is 149. It's not bad for a for a dual 120 radiator with this high quality water block and an included reservoir and pump, and did get a gold award because of its performance. But that is that. And you can also switch the LEDs out if you want. Apparently Dale Poco likes red LEDs. So, but that is that. Questions?
And this is the part where Ken will be editing a Carbonite ad in.
Live for every single YouTube viewer as it happens.
Alan, are you muted?
Yes.
Alan? No.
No.
Oh, I thought you were.
I am not. So let's see. That is the ad break marker, whatever. We can't make a marker, but hopefully Ken will pick the spot up. All right, news items. Let's see. As we talked about this last week, but I guess we made a post on it. Valve confirms Steam machines will not be NVIDIA exclusive, so yes, they will in fact use Intel and AMD as well. Not really a surprise there. Next, rumor. What's this one? Scott. We should have Scott on.
Okay, essentially, you want me to talk about it? Really?
Yes.
Okay, so like on Newegg side, if you are a hacksaw, elite hacksaw, you could figure out the price of the R9 290X through Newegg's nice little code. So they figured out it was like $5 billion. Okay,
Really?
maybe not $5 billion, but it was like $7.99? No, $7.30.
Yeah.
The Newegg was charging. If you did a pre-order, even though the price was not official.
That's an awful lot cheaper than a Titan.
It is a little bit cheaper than a Titan at $999.99. How do you like that for 5 nines in a row? I can't afford it.
It's not available to me.
Ooh. But anyway, so yeah, if you can go on that, you can kind of see what's going on by using your elite hacksaw skills to figure out the price. And apparently, Amazon price leak came out today. It looks around $715, so we're looking $699 to $620. And of course, Newegg likes to charge a little extra because they got the stock, and they got you by the short and curlies if you want the stock. Now, Alan doesn't know that because he's had laser treatment.
Mm-hmm.
There are no short and curlies on that X-Seaman. I guess you are currently a seaman, but not for much longer.
Well, yes, actually.
All right.
Not
Anyway,
much.
moving along.
Actually, we had a note below that.
Yes, Amazon.
Oh, you already say that?
Yeah, I talked about the Amazon 715.
Ah, never mind.
Live in the now. Pay
So-
attention, Alan. You know
I'm
what?
so
If you
taken
put
Distracted by
aback by
thoughts
the
of snoo.
short and
if you
curly.
put both headphones on your ears, you'd be able to pay double the attention.
I just can't handle you in stereo, man.
Good thing I don't have a twin.
All right. Valve Steam
The
controller.
entire world, Josh.
Because you know what? I don't think that double bed will fit 3.
Gross.
Hmm. All right, next up.
Skills will come in handy.
Poor Scott. He's still not on the podcast. We were talking about all this stuffs. Valve Steam controller demonstration. Demonstration. I think we need to edit that. So yeah, there's a video that got thrown up on YouTube about someone demonstrating how the Valve controller works.
Yeah,
it
they're
looks.
quite- Oh, go ahead, Jeremy.
I was going to say, it looks like so much fun trying to play Civ 5 when you're desperately trying to thumb your way to a menu and miss it, and then try and thumb down the menu. And it just looks so graceful, the way that they were interfacing with that game.
Obviously, they can please many women at the same time.
Yes. Portal, on the other hand, didn't look too bad. Like, that actually looked like it was a relatively decent interface for it. But for a lot of games, I don't see the appeal.
Yeah.
Then again, I'm not a controller guy, so maybe it is a huge jump up from the PS3 or Xbone.
Well, I mean, I thought it was kind of neat that you could actually program the controller to, to have different zones and the buttons correspond to different keys. That seemed pretty neat to me. But yeah, I'm with you. I'm not really a controller guy, but given that level of configurability with the controller, that may turn quite a few people to using a controller as long as the zones are
Yeah, I swear what's going to sell it is the fact that there's a chat button. There's a button completely dedicated to being able to trash talk people, and I can see a vast majority of online gamers being very attracted to that.
But then how are you going to actually do the... Is
They're
there
not
a
saying
All
the game.
haptic feedback. Haptic feedback.
Well, but I mean, is it chat to type or what?
No, I think it's essentially a push to talk,
Oh.
because otherwise I can't quite see how, like we'll be talking old school, trying to put your 3 initials on the high score of an arcade game with those thumb
Yeah,
buttons.
I know, right? That would be horrible. You would
Your
totally lose.
ma moo. No, not moo. I meant ma.
And then you get like headshot 20 times while you're trying to do it.
But you know it was worth it.
Yeah, because they'll put a dedicated teabagging button too.
Yeah.
All right, next up. Let's see. Fujitsu launches new touch-enabled mobile lineup. So I looked at these things, and they basically look like 5 different models, all of which I think all of them look like they're Ultrabook style, Ultrabook form factor. Yeah. So they're all touchscreen enabled, around 13, 14-inch displays, and they all come with Windows 8.1.
Yeah, but some of them are like a 3200 by 1800 display, which honestly I find a little impressive.
32. Wow. Yeah, that's the
Like-
U904.
Yeah, and the other one's 2560 by 1440, which hey, I mean,
3200.
I know it's a very weird resolution, is it not?
Wow.
But at the same time, it's the pixel count on that is
Well,
going to be nice.
It's quad 16 by 9.
Yeah.
So yeah, but that's wow. That's a lot of pixels. That's basically like that's more than a Retina.
Yes. Well, pixel density, I don't know, it's 14 inch.
Well, it's more than a Retina like Apple product. Because they go up to like 2560 by 1600, not 32 or 2560 by 1080.
Alan, you said that's a quad of a 16 by 9. Would that be
Yeah, it'd be 1600 by 900. You
No,
multiply
but
both by 2.
oh, by 2. Okay.
Well, like quad meaning like when you do it in 2 dimensions, then you get 4
Yeah.
times the pixels. Yeah.
And the only other thing I don't understand is the stylistics, because they released 3 life books and 2 stylistics. They describe the stylistic as a semi-ruggedized tablet. Kind of curious what they mean by that. On the other hand, it's got a freaking Haswell i7, 8 gigs of DDR3, and a 256 gig SATA drive. So, I mean, it's only a 1080p resolution, but at the same point, semi-ruggedized and with those specs, unless it's a ridiculous price, that's kind of attractive.
The only thing
And
that's baffling
Jeremy
me
knows kind of attractive. I mean,
I
he
don't
does
get
live
why,
in Vancouver,
there's an 8 megapixel rear camera.
Yes.
which again goes back to Jeremy and Vancouver.
Mm-hmm.
No,
It's semi-attractive.
Hey, baby, I've got a 9 megapixel rear camera.
And from behind, you look
From
gorgeous.
behind, yes.
the webcam is only 2 megapixels.
Well,
I
no,
don't
but Alan, this is a tablet though. It's not a notebook. Or is
Which
it a
one?
notebook?
No, this is a semi-ruggedized tablet.
Yeah.
So it's not a notebook. So
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's basically like the front and rear
So
camera.
if the people that hold their
actually
iPad up and
yeah,
Take
Right.
pictures.
yeah, or
mm,
video or whatever they're doing.
that's whatever they're doing. It makes them look dorky, is what.
But if it
does.
comes with, if those tablets come with 8.1, I wonder if they're going to have some kind of keyboard, optional keyboard that comes with it, because it doesn't make sense if it didn't. Because a lot of those Office apps would be very hard to use in tablet-only mode. Without a
Okay,
keyboard.
let me ask this question while I scratch my head because I'm freshly shorn. When's the last time any of you have seen a Fujitsu tablet in North America?
Yeah, good point.
Well, but we may see them if Surface 2 actually takes off. We could begin seeing them.
So we're not going to see them.
Yeah.
Moving along.
Moving on.
Let's see. Next up is Microsoft confirms AMD Mantle not compatible with Xbox One.
This is not a shock. So MS came out and said, you know, we've got this DirectX 11.x. They don't really tell you what it is, other than it's more advanced and it works on the Xbox One. But in the future, you can compile things, well, maybe not compile, but develop things for 11.1x and move it along to other mobile devices. So essentially, they're saying, no, we don't want Mantle because we would like things to be developed for us and not for anybody else. Even though we kind of still own the PC computing space and gaming space under Windows Vista 7, 8.1, we would like all that revenue to come towards the Xbox people so they can actually pull even and possibly make a profit. So we're not going to support Mantle, and that's understandable because their DirectX 11.x is already pretty low level in the Xbox because they have control of the entire software stack. I'm pretty sure we're going to see Sony come out and say, Mantle's nice, but we have our own development tools, and it's OpenGL based, and it's low-level OpenGL, but it's not compatible with DirectX in a one-to-one basis. So all the stuff that's developed for PS4 may not run as well on the Xbox 360, and who the hell cares about PC? So do you have that in a bread box?
Steam also probably doesn't care about Mantle.
Well, they'll probably support it, but they are more interested in just OpenGL so they can have Intel, AMD, and NVIDIA supporting their Steam OS products all equally and equally well, so you can still play that small subset of Steam titles on your Steam OS.
See, I would be surprised if Steam actually went full on OpenGL and didn't go. I mean, you could do OpenGL for Linux support and for Mac support, I guess, but for them to further segment the PC market, which is their bread and butter, even with their Steam box, is gonna hurt them ultimately. So, by going DirectX instead of OpenGL, they're helping to not fragment the market. Because I mean that's what kind of Mantle is doing too. You're adding fragmentation to the market. We're going back to the days when when you had when id was first coming on the scene, and when you had Doom and Quake and all them with
You had V Quake, you had GL Quake, you had
Yeah.
regular Quake. Yeah.
It just was a fragmented market, and it just didn't serve anyone well. I mean, those were very, very painful days of gaming.
Yeah, and Cyril over at the Tech Report raised the same question, but he's a little less optimistic than you are, because he's seeing the advent of SteamOS as yet another fragmentation, which may well take Steam down the OpenGL path, because they don't want to have to deal with the proprietary stuff.
Well, Steam OS is already. In fact, if you look Steam for Linux, it's all OpenGL.
So they've already done the groundwork.
Oh yeah.
But then again, Battlefield 4 Mantle Edition coming out not too long from now.
There will be only one.
Let's
see. Next one, short news piece from Scott again. We really should have had Scott on. Anyway, compared to the same quarter last year, PC sales did not drop as far as everybody thought they were going to.
No, they're down 8%. We were thinking somewhere around 9 to 10%.
Yeah, it only
So,
dropped, 8?
Not good news, but not as bad as it could have been. And the funny thing I thought was that HP is really creeping up on Lenovo. Lenovo's number 1, HP is number 2, Dell is number 3, as we tend to know. It's just that HP closed the gap on Lenovo over the last couple of quarters, which honestly is quite impressive, because I don't know many workspaces that use HP. Lenovo and Dell, oh yeah.
Anyway. Next. Jeremy. This one's all you.
Lies. It's all lies.
The one about the AMD cards.
Yeah. Apparently the engineers over at AMD are scratching their heads a little bit. They're smiling while they're doing it, but they are scratching their heads a little bit, in that the new kernel, the Linux 3.12 kernel that's come out, is actually showing some really nice improvements on the upper end of the frame rates that they've been seeing when gaming on Linux. Lower end, perhaps not so much, but the higher end, every single card improved. Some of them by almost 50%. And the brilliant thing about this, for most people that are running this wonderful open source OS, is it's from the 3850 all the way up to the 6950. For some reason, Roy, you're not sending these guys newer cards, so if you could send some newer cards to Phoronix, we could find out if the new generation also benefits from this. But since we're going from the 3950 all the way to the 6950, I'm guessing this is going to stick through. And as has been mentioned a couple of times, this is what happens when you open up your source code to programmers who just program in their spare time. Reveal the documentation. Look what happens. It's great.
NVIDIA has yet to really open source their drivers to...
Well, they threw out a good chunk of documentation a week or so ago.
Well, that's good. And Intel is pretty open to them as well.
I wonder if that same kernel did any changes to NVIDIA and Intel GPUs. Kind of curious.
They haven't compared it yet, but I mean, this is ongoing testing, and with these guys, they're part of the Open Benchmark. So, I mean, just browse through Open Benchmark and you'll see what happened.
Yeah, because I mean, you'd stand to reason that if they're doing some kind of optimizations with the video subsystem before it gets to the driver, because they didn't change the driver, they just changed the kernel, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, some of that should help everything, really. I don't know, just a hunch. Next one, also Jeremy. Corsair 230T PC case, graphite series.
Hey, if you want orange, Corsair has got orange for you.
You know, Ukraine is really happy about this.
Yeah, so are the Dutch.
Yeah, all that whole
Yeah.
Orange Revolution thing.
But essentially, it's a new series.
Hey, maybe
Meh,
Ireland not so hot.
Oh no,
about the
well, some of
orange.
them. Some of them are happy. Not
Yeah.
all of them.
Yeah.
And it doesn't come in green, so yeah. But, you know, the graphite series is relatively new, as you can tell by the 230T model number. But you can get them in Battleship Gray, Rebel Orange, and Black, of course, it being the new orange. And, well, if you don't know what that show is about, I'll tell you after the show. But it's it's got a little bit more to it than some of the more monolithic cases like the one we reviewed just a little bit earlier in the show. And if you're into cases, I think you'll like it, in that, you know, we've got LED fans which are going to match the outside paint job of your chassis. For its size, it has some decent slots in it. You can actually hold up to and including 3 cup holders. There are 3 5.5-inch tool-free drive bays. And then you get 4 2.5s for your SSDs and 4 3.5s for your long-term storage.
But on the bottom, too, you can only put shots.
Well, this is a bad thing?
No, actually.
Yeah. And one of the nice things included with it is 320 mil fans. So if you just want to put a case, get it working, and away you go, not a bad choice. Excuse me.
Dude, you muted in like the perfect time. I'm so impressed.
That's why they call it the cough button, Josh.
I thought that was when the doctor pressed something on you.
No, Dr. Fever never pushed anything on me.
Turn your head. I'm gonna hit the cough button.
See, I went WKRP. You went other ways.
I see. Moving along.
Moving along, poor yields will delay Intel 14-nanometer Broadwell CPUs.
Yeah, this is something that some people were expecting to happen and some were hoping would not. You know, the jump to 22 nanometer was pretty big. Intel did it pretty well. They had a couple of issues, but overall, it was a very successful jump in process technology for them. The jump to 14 nanometer, many had expected it to be more problematic. And Intel said, no, it's perfectly fine. Everything's going along swimmingly. Well, they're pushing back at least a quarter. The Broadwell chips, which are the first 14 nanometer products from Intel, it's based on Haswell architecture, and so the actual design and architecture is well known. But what's not well known is, of course, the process technology. And so a lot of people were expecting, you know, late 2013 introduction of these Broadwell chips, and that's not going to happen. It's going to be sometime in Q1 2014, so they say. Now, I'm not casting aspersions upon Intel, but this is a big jump, and their TikTok has been incredibly aggressive, especially considering lithography, physics, materials, all those fun things, and you know, they are being aggressive. That's outstanding that they're pushing the envelope. But you know, when other guys such as GlobalFoundries, TSMC are having a hard time getting to 22 nanometer, Intel's pushing to 14, we know that there are some interesting limitations that simply cannot be overcome except without a lot of money and manpower. So it's going to be interesting to see when exactly Broadwell comes out, but it's not going to be as soon as people are expecting.
And that shouldn't affect the talk, supposedly.
The what? Talk?
TikTok, you know, like
TikTok?
the architecture change.
Yeah, the Skylake 2015.
Yep, still on
It's probably
track.
going to be fine because, you know, the design is there. And by then, the process issues should be hopefully resolved.
Yep. Yeah, you can work on one without updating the other, mostly.
Well, mostly, yeah.
Yeah, mostly. I mean, anyway.
I mean, you still got design rules. You got changes like TSMC when they went to, I can't remember what node. They had the moving voids that would disconnect vias and would do bad things, and they had to adjust the design rules to reflect that. So perhaps Intel is doing the same thing. We don't know yet.
Well, one thing that I thought was really odd when I first saw this one was that Tim pretty much reported on the same thing back in June. Towards the end of June, we already knew that there were going to be some delays on Broadwell. So, I mean, it's not completely new news, but at the same point, I mean, when Intel doesn't say anything for a while, you start to wonder, what are they going to do? So it's sort of confirmation in a way. But did you catch, Josh, part of what they were talking about, which is one of the reasons this is slowing down is they're looking at completely redoing the change management on chips. And they're talking about making changes to architecture 3 months before it's slated for release and not affecting yields.
That
would be
yeah,
that would be impressive
because it doesn't
Wouldn't
make a whole lot of sense from.
Because it's 9 to 12 months usually, right?
Well, yeah, because you know the guys who design the chips, once they have something taped out and then they send it to the fab guys, those engineers then come back to the design guys and say, hey, we're seeing this issue, this issue, this issue. We need to adjust the design either through some basic revisions or some metal layer changes to get this running. And so yeah, that's you're never going to at these sizes you're never going to be able to fully synthesize a design without actually going in and creating the chip. You can get close to it, but I think in terms of getting something that's going to yield well, we're kind of past the point where you could do that in modeling. They're just...
I would think so.
Yeah, I mean...
But then Intel has pulled off some pretty impressive stuff
in
the past.
They have lots of money, they got lots of smart guys, and they've got lots of computing power behind them. So it's going to be interesting to see.
All right, next up. Lenovo launches Mix with 2 eyes. Mix to Windows 8.1 tablets powered by Bay Trail T. Silicon on a chip. Or system on a chip, sorry. Hope it's silicon on a chip. This one's what? Tim. So let's see. It's a tablet that sort of looks like... Yeah, I can't show it. Maury.
Yeah, hold on. Nope. Let's see.
Maury's holding on with both hands. You can tell.
Alan, you should be able to show it.
It'll give the same thing that Jeremy does.
Okay.
Like,
here you go.
because it'll span 2 monitors and.
Let me see. If
Well, you can pick and choose.
No, you can't really. Okay. Yeah. So it's basically a tablet with. It looks like a big smartphone with a pen. I would. If it's Bay Trail, it's probably, and it's got 2 gig of RAM, it's going to be Windows 8.1 RT. It's not going to be Windows 8.1. So, most likely.
It's a Bay Trail T Atom.
Yeah, so, well, I don't know.
So
I mean,
it should be
does,
full blown Windows.
Yeah, it could be. I don't know. I mean,
Josh.
What?
Bay Trail Atom.
Bay Trail Atom, is it RT or is it?
No. The Bay Trail, it's x86.
It is, okay.
Intel does no ARM. They don't do that.
They don't like ARM.
No,
MIPS,
they're
on the
not
other hand.
fond. No, they don't do MIPS.
There's a new product.
Intel used to do strong ARM. And
True.
Then they sold that off many moons ago. So yeah, Bay Trail is 22 nanometer x86. their new Atom that's out of order, all those other interesting, fun things that is making it more competitive. Not just with AMD, but the modern ARM processor.
I don't know how well this tablet's going to do with only 2 gig of RAM on Windows 8.1.
Okay, what does the new iPhone 5S have in terms of memory?
Isn't it a
1 gig of
Yeah.
RAM.
Yeah, but it's not running Windows 8.1.
Yeah, that's true, but hopefully,
And
8.1 is a pretty significant jump for Microsoft. Maybe it has lower memory usage.
Right,
I mean,
but-
look at the memory usage in between Vista and Win 7. It
Yeah.
lowered significantly.
I'll give you that, but the thing is that usually for tablets they prefer RT because RT is the one that's made for these lower power, lower RAM tablets, not the full.
Yeah,
Yeah, but Bay
that's
Trail's
all.
looking to change all that. Like,
Yeah.
it could be interesting.
We shall see.
It's an odd. It's an odd.
Hey, you can't play Battlefield 3 on it, and that's understandable.
Why
You
not?
might be able to play Battlefield 1942.
Yes,
Wait.
you could.
Why can't
But
you play
Battlefield 2
Battlefield 3?
requires at least 1 gig of system RAM.
Okay.
Battlefield 3 is, it's like 2 to 4. Anyway, moving along.
Anyway, Scott wrote up a piece about Altera FPGAs being programmed via OpenCL, from the sounds of it.
Yeah. You've heard of those chips that accelerate Bitcoin mining, right?
Those are also FPGAs, right?
Not necessarily.
Or
But-
ASICs.
Yeah, they're ASICs.
They're ASICs, yeah. I mean, they're just
Yeah.
similar.
But Altera has one of the few agreements with Intel that Intel can actually fab their chips. And this particular one, they're aiming for the Intel 14 nanometer. It will accelerate OpenCL. That means that their low-level macro and micro ops are more aimed towards OpenCL type applications and workloads than a standard x86 or a current DirectX 11 or OpenCL GPU is. So potentially they could reap great benefits of lower power and higher speed, and especially using Intel's 14 nanometer process to put these out. Now, where Altera is aiming these, we're still not entirely sure. OpenCL, while an interesting product, much to NVIDIA and AMD chagrin, has not been picked up nearly as much as they would like to. So it's going to be interesting to see where this goes. That's all I have to say, unless somebody else, Jeremy,
No, it's just-
Alan.
It's I mean, for what it gets programmed to do, it can do that stuff just way
Do
way
it very
faster.
fast. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's basically just a programmable array of logic gates. That's all it is. So you can, if you wanted something to just do a simple addition, it can basically do it almost like asynchronously. Like it doesn't even really need a clock. There's a clock to talk to it, but I don't think it really even, for some sections of it, it doesn't even need a clock to actually send stuff from, gate to gate. It just rips right through it as fast, basically as fast as zeros can turn to ones and vice versa. So, yeah, that's good stuff. All right, well, that's it for the news and the items of interest. So next up, hardware software picks of the week, and we don't have a Ryan. Ryan's pick is, I don't know, where is he?
Oh, Kama Sutra.
Poutine.
Yes.
Poutine.
Kama
He's all
Sutra.
about the poutine right now.
And anyone who's been to Montreal knows exactly what I'm talking about.
All right.
I never have.
So that's what he's doing. Jeremy.
Yeah, so Jerry Ellsworth got canned from Valve. On
That's
the
all.
other hand, that means she's now developing Castar and just put together a Kickstarter for it. Now, this is, a little bit like we've seen before with a certain product that Ryan and Ken have been allowed to play with, but we haven't. But she's working on an AR glasses that are nowhere near as limited as the ones that we've been seeing from a certain other company. In this case, it's essentially two projectors which are projecting out onto a reflective surface and are creating what she describes sort of as a holograph-ish image. What it means is that it's almost worth moving your head around because the view is actually going to change on the retroreflector that you're looking at. You can pick up a couple of different versions of it from the proper glasses, which project out and allow multiplayer 3D with multiple people. Or you can buy the more personal version, which actually turns glasses into reflectors, so it beams directly back into your eye, like we've more come to familiarize ourselves with AR and VR. But the idea with this is that not only can you use multiple people playing the same interface, your muscle memory for your eyes, you're still focusing on something that is distant from you. You're not trying to figure out how to focus on something which is directly in front of your eye that some people have had a real problem with because it's a totally different way of seeing it. So I highly recommend taking a look at this. It's not ridiculously expensive. It looks really fun. They've also turned a barbecue lighter into an interface. They call it the wand, and honestly, it does sort of look like a good deal for the RTS-type strategy games that they're envisioning it to be used for. It also has the ability to buy a bunch of RFID chips, which you can put on an RFID grid with sub-millimeter accuracy, so, VR D&D. Perfectly and completely doable. They sort of refer to it as that classic scene in A New Hope where one droid suggests to another that let the Wookiee win, otherwise he's going to rip your arm off. It looks really interesting, and the other thing I'd like to add to that is the medium that they're using to project this onto is a retroreflector. Anyone who's driven at night and seen a sign immediately brighten up without much backscatter to them knows exactly what this is. And if you follow the links, MakeBlog has actually got a really effective way of making your own retroreflector, so you now have a display of unlimited size. You just make it as big as you want, and her camera is going to take care of the rest of it. So I highly recommend looking into that if you haven't heard about it. If you have heard about it, toss some money. Josh?
Get it while the going's good. We have, I can't do the dang thing that Maury does because I don't want to.
I got it, Josh. I got it.
Okay. So basically, HD 7970
Here you go.
Sapphire, 279 or 280 for most people, unless you want some more. So yeah, what do you see? What's the nicest thing about this one, Maury?
The nicest thing about it is the 3 free games with purchase.
Get it while the going's good.
Yeah, these are, Josh is correct. These are going to disappear real quick because AMD is not too fond, and I don't know if they said this outright, but they've hinted at it that they're trying to flush the channel of all the old cards because the R80 and below are all basically refreshes of the old stuff. So get it while the going's good because these are going to disappear quick, especially at these prices.
Alan.
Alrighty. Maury, you should just show mine.
Hold on.
It's fullscreenmario.com
Fullscreen
if you want to waste
Only
a lot
available on Chrome.
Here we go. Oh, well.
Oh.
Wait, hold on.
So
What
sorry.
did I just tell you?
No, wait, no, it said. Oh, here we go. Look. Can you guys hear the audio?
It's okay, so the audio works.
Do, 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 do,
Oh, wait, look, yeah, here's the game. Here you go. Let's see. How do I play? I guess I can't.
Well,
Well,
need
if you don't know how to
Chrome.
play this game by now, Maury,
No, how do I
How do I
start?
play? It won't work because you don't have Chrome.
Oh, whatever. Chrome.
You're crossing the streams, man. Oh, you're an IE.
I'm an IE10. I'm on Windows 8.
oh,
I have Windows 8 here. I'm gonna have IE10.
I'm so sorry to hear that, Maury.
Oh,
I have
my goodness.
Chrome. I have Chrome and Firefox on here too. But
Okay, so all of the people watching this or
hold on, I'll bring
listening
it
to
up in
this
Chrome.
later.
Hold on.
Oh, there he goes.
Hold on, I will bring it up in Chrome.
You know,
Right,
here's
baby.
where I back up and I take my headphones and I throw them on the ground and walk away. So
Why?
I'll
Because you
see
don't
you in
like
a little
IE?
bit.
What are you talking about, Josh?
Because you're an IE, man.
I mean, IE.
He doesn't want to get infected.
That is
Alright,
so
look.
horrible.
Okay, wait, hold on. I'm in Chrome now. Okay, I'm in Chrome now, and it's still telling me to play in Chrome. Look.
What?
I think I'm in Chrome now.
Oh no, I'm in Firefox. Damn it.
That's not Chrome. It says Firefox.
Hold on. I'm working on it. Jeez.
Oh, this is a Greek tragedy.
Yeah. Okay, now I'm in Chrome. I don't know. They both look the same to me. What do you want? God. Who uses Chrome and Firefox anyway? All right. So there we go. Look. See. Yay! I'm playing.
That is a long map.
That's why it's called Full Screen Mario.
Jeremy, you gotta
Alright,
play that on yours,
it.
man. What
Yeah,
what does that do on yours? Does that go 3 screens across?
I don't know. I haven't tried it.
He has to know. He just has to know.
Oh, yeah.
Infinity.
Thank you for screwing up the link, Google.
It's gonna be Infinity full screen Mario.
Hey, Josh.
What do you mean Google Chrome could not find Full Screen Mario?
What?
Thank you. Jeez.
Full
Okay,
screen
now how do I-
Mario.com.
Can't use arrow
think
keys.
you have to-
use DS.
Wait a minute, it won't
Yes,
get. It
here.
won't go longer.
Screen share.
Wow! Holy crap!
Uh-oh. Oh.
No, stretch it out. You have to stretch it out. Stretch it all the way out, and then refresh it. No, refresh it.
Refresh.
Look at this.
Oh,
Okay,
my
now how am I supposed to play it when I can see everything?
It's the whole level, or it's like a good half of it.
God.
That's just disturbing. I keep wanting to look over here and see if someone's going to come out.
Look at all those
Okay,
mushrooms.
that's just wrong. Okay, what happened? Which pipe is it?
You just gave Scott a wet dream.
Oh,
You can definitely see what's coming. That's for sure.
I wanted to see what was on the underground. All right. That is more than a little entertaining.
That's pretty epic, actually.
I'm going to have to try that someday.
All right, now I need to unfull screen my full screen Mario so I can get back to the show. Oh my goodness. Maury, what's your pick?
And yet, Rome
My
Total War 2 is
pick.
not still fully done for Infinity, but Super
My
Mario's
pick is the new Windows
They
8.1.
all knew.
The all new Windows 8.1. Wait, let me see if I can share my screen here.
It still looks like Windows 8.
It still looks like Windows 8, yes. Well, okay, but Windows 8.1, I mean, unless you've been in a cave, you guys have probably heard all, well, hopefully you've heard all sorts of things. So they've been talking about it on all the tech podcasts for months now. But what it does is it's going to allow you to boot directly to the desktop. There's also some enhancements to the start, the Metro start page where it has, you can get apps or something, app mode or something, I don't know. You can like see a full list of your apps. It also introduces IE 11 to Windows 8. Basically, you load Windows 8.1 and you get IE 11. There's no ands, ifs, or buts about that. The way that Microsoft is going to do it, and this is the important thing, if you loaded the 8.1 preview, there's no way to get out of that. You can upgrade to the 8.1 full version, but you'll lose all of your apps. It will reset everything on you, all your settings. So, sorry. You can try to revert back to 8 and then upgrade. If you have Windows 8 though, that's not going to be the case. You basically simply go to the Microsoft Store, download 8.1, and it will run the installer. It will not delete your apps, won't delete your settings. You'll have everything the way it was. You'll be sitting on 8.1 instead of 8. But yeah, it's there's supposed to be a lot of nice new features in it. They also added a start, well, what they're calling a start button into the desktop mode, but all it
And
does
what
is
happens when you hit that start button?
takes you back to the start screen.
Yep.
But I mean,
Psych.
people wanted a button, so they gave them a button.
Yeah, everybody was yelling about the button, and
Yeah,
that's what
so now you have a
Microsoft
button.
took.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I mean, it's it is what it is. I mean, it's Windows 8. I was very hesitant to upgrade to it. I upgraded to it because I figured, upgrading my system, putting on, new motherboard, CPU, all that crap. So, put the new OS on. It took me a little while. Everything that's in 7 is still in 8. You just kind of have to dig for it, and you have to make a lot of shortcuts on your desktop. But
Yeah.
it's not bad. I mean,
I wonder if
and also Windows 8 is a lot more memory efficient than Windows 7. Believe it or not, they did do some tinkering in the lower levels of it.
I wonder if you can make that folder on your desktop that's like the God mode folder thing, like you could in 7. Remember that? Like you had to put some special code into the name of the folder, and then once you renamed it to something, it would like turn into a weird icon, and you can click on it. It was like every possible configuration page for like the whole system was in there. I don't know if that works on 8. You haven't tried that?
Sorry.
God mode folder?
Nope.
Ah. The rest of you guys? Josh?
Nope.
Jeremy?
But I'll have to look that up and see. I mean, if it works in 7, you may be able to get it to work in 8. I mean, they may have disabled it, but a lot of things in 7 are still in 8. You just have to dig for them. Now 8.1 will be ready. It will be downloadable through the Microsoft Store starting Friday morning.
I think it's already on TechNet, I think.
It's on TechNet, but that version that version that's on TechNet is not an upgrade. If you install that, it will reset your settings.
Yeah.
If you want to upgrade and you don't want to lose all your software and your settings, you need to wait till Friday, unfortunately. That's just the way that Microsoft's doing it. There will be an upgrade version released on TechNet eventually, but they didn't want to release it early for whatever reason.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So, do we bother with Tim's pick? Since Tim's not here?
Sure, we could. I mean, if you want to. Josh could talk about it. It's it's an AMD board, so.
It's an FM2 Plus board. It's one of the lower priced ones from Gigabyte. In fact, I think the most expensive FM2 Plus boards out there is $109. So this is the one right below that, and you can get it for $90. And it's pretty solid, it looks like. Maybe not as solid as Jeremy's beard, but it's solid.
And maybe named after a bad singer, but
Yeah. So there you go, Tim. There's your pick. Congratulations.
Well, that about wraps it up then, I believe. Anything else from the rest of you guys? Yes, no, maybe?
I already went to the bathroom, so no.
Oh, Josh already threw his headset down.
No, after his
facilities.
brief exposure to Internet Explorer, he actually had to go and pray to the porcelain goddess for a bit.
Had to void.
Okay, well then, in closing, if you have any questions, comments, papers, etc., you can email them to podcast@pcpro.com. Those will get to Ryan one way or another, or the rest of us.
Don't bother calling us, though. We canceled that line because
we canceled
nobody
that
was
line,
being funny.
Yeah, they were either too long or, I don't know, wrong numbers or
too creepy, and from us, that's saying a lot.
That was just Josh leaving his messages, though.
Yeah, that was probably Josh the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Doing the
Papist.
Yeah. You can find all these podcasts at pcper.com/podcast, and you can tweet us at twitter.com/pcper. I'm Alan Montano.
Oh, and one more thing, Alan. God mode does still work in 8.1. Someone linked it in chat, and I just tried it.
Sweet. So the God mode thing is, you basically make a folder, you rename it to a certain string, and it sort of tricks the system into thinking that it's like some form of a menu, and then you go in there.
What, from Super Mario Brothers?
No.
Yes, this is God mode for Super Mario Brothers because Nintendo finally gave it up.
Anyway,
Come on, the Game Genie used to give that to you.
Game Genie, God.
now that's for full screen Contra, and you need a controller.
Moving along.
I'm Alan Valentano.
I'm Jeremy Ostrom.
I'm Josh Walrath.
I'm Maury Dettelman.
Thanks for tolerating us.
Tolerating is a nice way of putting it.